Hello, hello. My name's Deb. I spell that with two B's. I'm just here sharing my human experience, helping you to gain confidence in yours. And today I'm going to kind of talk about consistency. I would say if there's one thing that I can contribute any of my success for any category in is consistency. Whether that's from being a child and consistently persisting mom and dad to get what you want, or whether it's being consistent in a relationship to get the deeper type of bonds and collaboration that I would like, or whether it is goals more like a figure competition or a yoga certificate, like consistency, right? And the yoga certificate, actually, I will say I did not finish my first time around. I had to do it twice. And there's a whole lot of reasons why, but it came down to had I been more forceful with the yes, this is consistent and just do the thing, I probably would have been fine. But there were lots of excuses and problems as to why that didn't happen. And the second time, consistency paid off. So, consistency, how to be consistent. Well, if consistency is something that you strive for, and then the first step is to have awareness as to where you are not consistent, and then you want to define where you're not in alignment. So we have awareness, and then we have alignment, and then you want to take action. So I guess that's a triple A thing: awareness, alignment, action, right? Very simple. And that will just help you through the awareness. That's where you identify the problem or the excuse. Through alignment, that's where you're brainstorming the solutions. And action is where you're refining it and deciding what is realistic and implement it. And if it doesn't work, then you start over and try something again. That's the thing, is it's the first try you might not get it right. The second try might not get it right. The third try, like there's probably and just with life, you're going to have waves and changes of life that are going to affect whatever goals you're trying to be consistent with. Especially if you're not alone in life, if you have a partner, if you have children, if you have animals, like you're going to have schedules, more so like humans, not so much animals. But when you have and partners have a little bit more brain power as an adult to decide and make decisions of what's going on. But when you have children, there's a whole different force of things popping up that you have no control over, and you have to adapt and you have to implement that into your own regimen and your own goals. So, consistency, awareness, alignment, action. A recent example that reminds me of is these videos. I said 3 videos a week. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure I haven't done 3 videos this week. And I want to be consistent with it. So I started becoming aware and asking myself, what is stopping me from doing the videos? And it did come down to I started adding in more editing into it, which started taking up more time, which then I was like, didn't have time. I would get halfway through trying to get things going. And also, I don't have a laptop. Everything I do from my phone, I do from my phone. I don't have a computer. I don't have a laptop. I would love a laptop. I'm not really sure. Like, that's one of those things. Like, in order to stay consistent, I probably need to get a computer. And that's not just like, oh, just go get a cheap laptop or Chrome. Like, no, I have purchased cheap items in the past, and that's one of those consistency things where I have lived and I have learned, and I am choosing not to buy those again. My next computer is definitely going to be a MacBook. That's I don't want to repeat mistakes that I have made. I've tried PC, wasn't a fan. And so, with that, that was the editing. That was one thing. Next was self care. I reached a point where I needed to focus a lot more on my self care. Not that I don't focus on my self care. I reached a point where I have the result of me focusing on my self care has resulted in my health returning, my vitality returning, which increases my tasks in my daily life because then I have activities that I need to do, and then I have to meal prep to be able to fuel for all those activities. And so, again, my lifestyle has changed. I've recently gone down to sharing a vehicle with someone. We've gone from 2 vehicles down to one, so that's like an adjustment as well. And so, just identifying the problems and excuses, and then seeing what solutions you can do to throw in to make things happen still. So for me, my solutions could be like do batch videos, which would mean not necessarily doing videos in the moment, but actually creating a structure, and which is probably going to be great for you guys. I'll be able to give information in a more structured way and in a better format, more how-tos, more digestible information for you to learn from. And so I can do batch videos and then just do a bunch all at once and release them intermittently. And I can create templates that well, I've been trying to create templates, but just it, things are a process, right? Learning the technology, learning what works, learning what doesn't. And that's part of the alignment action. Alignment and then action is just doing it, don't worry about a solution being perfect, just do it. So with these videos, I'd kind of put them off also because I attempt for authenticity is just where it's easy for me to talk without the ums and the ahs, and sometimes things just flow, and that's really great. But also, when I have a lot going on internally, there's so much that I either want to say that I'm not sure people understand because I don't really have a following yet, and I don't really have the right tags and hashtags. That's like, I don't want to scare off all of y'all before you're even here. But there's a lot of energy, a lot of quantum, a lot of woo woo, a lot of energetics with the celestial bodies, a lot of thinning of the veils, a lot of multiple dimensions. Like, what even are we? Like, things in my head go deep and they go fast. And so I think it's probably best that I do get a good basis of structured videos of subjects so that anyone watching this, your energy will bring in the right video when it's time. I think I'm too focused on everything that I say has to be from source in the moment. And like it is, I mean, because I'm just doing this on the fly, obviously, because I'm looking around. I'm obviously not looking at a teleprompter. I'm saying my ums, I'm saying my ahs. I have long pauses. I am rambling through different subjects. It's maybe a little bit of structure wouldn't hurt. Because the whole point is to help you out, right? Like, yes, this is a way for me to express myself, but that's the thing, is because I have all these things in my brain and I have spent decades having my passion be about energy and the human experience. As a child, I didn't believe in heaven or hell. I believed in good energy and bad energy. And the people around me told me I was satanic. Here I was, just a natural scientific genius, and people dim my light and tell me I'm satanic. What's a girl supposed to do with that? What's a girl supposed to do with that? Also, here's a thing I recently learned: women were not allowed to hold bank accounts until the late 70s. I don't remember if it was 70, sometime in the 70s. Women have existed on the planet for as long as men, and we weren't allowed to have bank accounts without their permission, without them being a cosigner. And if a woman didn't have a male cosigner on their account, then most time they would be rejected in an account. So when we think about how much work there is to be done in this world, how many people there are that can benefit from the information that Awaken with Deb has to offer, I bet there's a lot. I bet there's a lot of programming. I mean, I know there is because I see it. Oh, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. All the people that I meet, and I just instantly see into them and see all their beauty and amazingness, and then I see the shame that they carry, and I see the anxiety that they hold, and I see right into their fears. It's a lot for me to take on. That's why I love party settings, because I get to be expressive with my energy and release my confidence and release movements, and I get to sit back and see how other people react. But it's a lot. It's a lot of energy work, and this world needs it. Energy is such an unseen force. Energy is everywhere, and we are affected by unseen forces the most. I mean, think of gravity. Gravity being such a force on us, but you can't see gravity. How about the air that we need to breathe? We can't see air. How about the thoughts that are constantly coming through our brain? When you get a light bulb idea, where does that thought come from? You don't know. It's an invisible energy. Where are all the memories floating around? Sometimes they're gone, sometimes they pop up, then they leave again. Like, sometimes they won't leave. Please. Sometimes the memories just won't leave. Those are all unseen energies. That yucky feeling inside when you're around someone that doesn't have good intentions, that's an unseen energy. We are surrounded by unseen energy. Our lives with these phones that, have you ever lost your phone or had it break and be without it? How does that feel to be so stripped away of something that assists you in your daily life? So moment to moment, our phones are very important to us, and the only reason they can function like that is because they have Wi-Fi, because they have the signals that come in that are an invisible energy. I would say there's more about this world that revolves around energy that we cannot see, more so than the other way around. So, how to stay consistent is awareness, alignment, and action. Awareness, alignment, and action. And repeat. Just stay consistent with the goal. If you run into roadblocks, you figure it out. You try again. You just keep trying. And if you never make it, it's about the journey, right? It's about the process of learning. I'm going to call it quits there. So, goodbye. My name is Deb. I spelled out with 2 B's. Just here sharing my experiences to help you gain confidence in yours. Much love.